Hi, my name is Ahmed, and I am one of the co-founders of Callback Request. First of all, thank you for installing the app. Thank you for giving us a try. You've probably installed the app so far because you understand the importance of phone sales. So I'm not going to go too much into that category. You already understand it. I will talk a little bit about why we built the app and spent a lot of time focusing on how to use the app and how to get the most out of it to maximize your phone sales. So that's what this video is all about. It's a tutorial, it's a welcome video. If there are any questions that you have that I haven't answered in this video, I will have shortcuts in the YouTube video description, comment description that will take you fast forward you to certain components of the video. So if any of your questions aren't answered there, feel free to send us a message. Our contact information is you'll be able to see on this page. So with further ado, let's get started. Now, if you're seeing this video, you're probably on our overview page in the callback section of your Shopify apps panel. Now, if you're seeing a different page, don't be alarmed. We do change up our overview page every now and then. If you're seeing it, it may be that we've updated it. We actually have an update coming very soon, and you'll get resources on this page. So again, tips and tricks, links out to our blogs, obviously this video, as well as certain key actions that you can take. But enough about that. Let's actually get started with the meat and potatoes of the app. Let's start with why we built the app. So we built it specifically for stores that value their phone sales channel. There's a lot of apps out there to increase sales. Obviously, you're selling online. There's all these other marketing tools, all these other ways to generate leads, which are great. But the phone sales, the phone number, your business's phone number, is actually one of the most underutilized sales channel. It actually is a sales channel. You can make sales over the phone, just like you can make sales over Instagram, you can make sales over Facebook Messenger, you can make sales obviously over your website or in person. The phone call is another great way to make sales that a lot of people ignore. And so really our app is about kickstarting that, catalyzing that focus for merchants like you to go back to that phone sales channel. The reason it's so powerful is because you can create a two-way voice conversation with your customer. It's the next best thing to a real life interaction. Over chat, it's fine, but it's text and there's a lot of asynchronicity, there's a lot of lag. Someone might not be looking, you may not be looking, your customer's waiting. But the phone conversation is direct, it's focused, it's one-on-one, and when you're having a conversation with your customer over the phone, their attention is with you, right? You have this opportunity to create long-term brand loyalty because you're being helpful, you're showing what you're all about, you're expressing your brand through your words and your voice, and your just your attitude towards the customer and helping the customer. And so that's really powerful. And that's really why we made it, because there wasn't enough apps that we thought were focusing on the phone sales tactic. There's a lot of these live chat buttons, but the live chat just isn't really doing it. It's the conversion rates aren't as much as they could be for certain stores. And so again, that's why we've made this app. Now, let's get into the actual nitty-gritty of how to use the app. So I'll go through a few examples of what the button can do and look like on your store. So this is I have a little bit of lags here. So this is my store, currently sold out. But this button here is the request callback button that once you click, you'll see the pop-up for leaving your phone number. So this, when I leave my number, will actually generate a lead for my store that I can get an immediate alert. Callback will send me an email, a Facebook Messenger alert, saying, "Hey Ahmed, this phone number, this person on this page with this phone number wants you to call them back right now." They could choose the SMS option, and so the default interaction will then be SMS between me and my customer. And so the alert comes through via email or some other channel to let you know to call this person. And I'll show you what that email looks like in a second. I apologize for the speed. I think my internet, when I'm making these videos, it gets, for some reason, everything slows down when I'm recording videos. So here is another store. They sell really high quality, really beautiful, made in America racing bicycles. And so again, they've embedded their button. They can customize it. You can add it anywhere you want. They've customized it to be in this button underneath this information. That's another example. There's lots of examples here. Your add to cart button, which is a great place, which is actually where this store has put it. It's right here. They sell mattresses, really high quality, eco-friendly, Canadian-made mattresses. And they've made their request callback button right here under their add to cart. They're also doing really well. They have about a 30% conversion rate on people that request a phone call. So there's tons of examples. I have a bunch more here. Maybe I'll get to them in a little bit later, but let's get back to kind of how the app works. Actually, let's give you one more example. Here's another example of a store that sells horse riding equipment. They have these beautiful saddles here. Look, you can tell their prices are quite high. That's a great niche. That type of store that has high value products are great for the callback request because most people aren't willing to spend thousands of dollars with a store they've never done business with without actually talking to someone first. So it's great for that first time customer acquisition when you're creating a customer for the first time to have that conversation over the phone that first time, build that trust, make that sale, and then deliver a great product. You're more likely, obviously, to get that person to come back. But to get the customer to buy for the first time, especially for a product like this, having that callback request button is a huge advantage. So anyway, let's get back to the app. So basically, once a request comes in, again, this app is, this computer's kind of gotten a little bit slow. But once the request comes in, you'll be able to access all of your requests through this tab on this site. So basically, any leads that come in, you'll be able to see who they are. You'll be able to see their name if they left it, the page they were on, what time the thing came in, and of course, a way to open the lead to take an action. So if I click Open Lead, the page actually opens up, which is mobile optimized. Ideally, if you're using this on, let's say on your mobile device, you're seeing it kind of show up something more like this. You're getting it also via email. So when you get the alert, you'll get the alert in real time via email. As soon as the request comes in, you'll get an email with the customer's information, as well as like a big button here at the top, again, taking you to the same page that I just showed you. When you click this button, I'm showing you the example on my desktop just because it's easier for me to share my screen this way and record it. But when you're on your mobile device, obviously it's mobile optimized as well. And you'll get the information ready to go. Any notes that this person may have left for you. And again, to take a one-click action to either make a phone call, SMS, or WhatsApp. The reason why the button is purple here is because that is the method that the customer prefers. So the customer requests a contact message with phone call, but if it had been SMS, the SMS would be purple. If it was WhatsApp, the WhatsApp button would be purple. That's sort of how that works there. It's really simple. Now, so these are basically all your leads, right? There's also an analytics tab, which is really exciting because it shows you sort of how many total leads you've generated, how many of those were converted, what the value of those conversions were. And there's this really important metric here that we start tracking, which is called revenue per request. And the importance of knowing what this number is goes beyond just some vanity number, but it's to tell you and your sales team that every time you get a callback request, the expected value based on your whole history at store's average is $17.86 in my case, right? So the conversion rate, so for about 400 leads, I've converted about 80 sales. So from 400 alerts that I've gotten, 80 of them have converted. Now, I'll also note that because this is my store, I do a lot of tests and I do a lot of numbers with my own. So the number is actually way lower. This number is actually artificially low because I've diluted my actual leads list. But it's actually almost 1/3. So my total number of real leads, I would say, is probably closer to 250, maybe 200, 250. Just because I do tests for my own store, and so I'm using my own number as kind of sample examples. But again, going back to the revenue per request number, once you know what that number is, it's going to give you and your sales staff a lot more confidence. So when you get that alert coming through and you know in your head, let's say my actual revenue per request is something about $40, when I get an actual lead come in through callback, I know that it's worth about $40. Whether I close it or not, on average, it's worth about $40. What I do close is over 100. When I don't close, obviously, it's nothing, but on average, it's about $40. So I know that when a lead comes in, it's worth my while because that 5-minute phone call can turn into $40. So knowing that number is really important, which is why we wanted to have that there. Now, obviously, we also have like some data and some graphs here, so you can see kind of what kind of sales you're generating. So that's the overall kind of how to manage once you're set up. But now let's go into actually setting up your callback button, right? Now, you'll see on the overview page, on all pages even, that there's this button here for unpublish, because right now my button is published, right? So let's see if I click unpublish, you'll see that now I can turn it back on. Now, if I were to go back to my site, so you can see here now that button has basically been unpublished and it's disappeared, right? I'm gonna turn that back on. Cool. Now it's back on. You'll see here that we get alerts. This is for me and my team. Whenever one of you guys publishes, installs, we get these alerts just to make sure that we're on top of things. We'll notice, proactively give you support. Again, we're all about, our apps are all about the customer support, customer service, conversations, building trust. And so we live by the same mantra. Whenever we see an opportunity to reach out to you, we will. We obviously can't do the phone calls all the time because we have thousands of users at any one time using it. But we will reach out in some way. Now, to get into the configuration. So there's a lot of different ways that you can customize this, right? Like I showed you on those examples of those other stores, you can embed it in all these different places. You can even have the button, like I'll show you one more example, floating on the bottom right, like you have here. You can have it floating really anywhere on the page or embedded like we've seen before. So I'll show you sort of how to do that stuff there. What you'll do is you'll just click configure. All the editing kind of components, all the editing actions of the app are under this tab, the configuration tab. We go to appearance. You'll see the options you have here for editing. I'm just going to move my picture a little bit over here. So you can see, you can edit your color, your button color, see what it kind of looks like here, right? It's all live preview, so whatever you change here, we'll make the change in the preview. Here is where you control the button placement. So whether, in my case, I have it, as you noticed, embedded in underneath my add to cart button. If I wanted to do that, I would choose this embed on page option, and then basically follow these instructions for how to embed it. If you can't figure it out, that's fine. We have this submit custom request button. Just click it. We'll get an alert letting us know to reach out to you so that we can customize it for you. But again, if you want to place it, don't want to do any editing, don't want to change any of your code, that's fine. You can embed it, floating top left, bottom right, top right, things like that. You can also change the background color of the widget as well, which you can control there. Now there's a lot of other things that you can change, and that's just the appearance side. That's just what the customer sees. Now on the settings, when you click on settings, you'll be taken to this page, which will show you how to edit basically your lead gen and phone number collection settings, and the settings of basically the text and copy and wording, so that you can customize those things to make it fit your brand. So obviously you can change the text here. As you change this, it will change in real time on that. In my case, because I'm sold out, I'm using my callback button as a way to just collect waitlist people that want to be added to the waitlist. So it's not just for, I mean, you can collect phone numbers for whatever reason, just because of what's going on right now with COVID-19 coronavirus. My supply chain's really stretched out, and I have no inventory, unfortunately. So I'm repurposing our callback button to just collect phone numbers of people that would like to be put on the wait list. And then they do that, I call them up, confirm how many units they need, and I put them in the list of priority. So again, it's a way, even when you're sold out, to use to build a relationship with your customer. Again, you can edit all these other sorts of things here. You can change the countries available. And so I only sell to these 4 countries, or I'm interested in selling to these 4 countries. So I'm only really collecting leads from these 4 countries, but you can really control whatever countries you want. You can add more countries here. If you click clear all, this is a great little hack. If you click clear all, what our app will do is it'll automatically detect the country of your customer, of your visitor, and automatically put that flag for them. So they don't have to select their country from a drop-down. Just based on whatever country they're visiting you from, we'll automatically detect that for them, and all they'll have to do is enter their local number. So we make that easy for you as well. Here, you can control all the methods that you'd like to collect numbers. So in my case, let's say I wanted all 3 open. Let's say I only wanted to do SMS and WhatsApp support, or let's say if I only wanted to do phone and WhatsApp, whatever. Now, if you leave it as just phone, there's a little issue on the demo here. But if you leave it as just phone, there won't be any need for a button, because that's the only way to do it. And so that'll be empty. That there won't be a button there on your actual site. We just have an issue on this particular demo page, the preview page, with that. But I think you get the picture. Again, same with the confirm button. You can edit all of these things. You can also edit the second page. So there is a optional second page. Now you can disable all of these secondary questions, and what that will do is it'll actually just remove. Now I know it's showing up in the preview, but if you've disabled all of these 3 sections, that second page on the widget won't show. They won't actually have the option to go on the second page. And I'll show you how that looks like. So what happened is, once you fill out that phone number, I'm just going to put my number here and click confirm, you'll see that there's these other options that it's asking for. The reason we've done it this way and not put them on the same page is that really our objective is to collect as many leads for you as possible, right? Just because somebody filled in their number and then clicked submit and then didn't fill these other items out, we still want you to know about it. So the alert will still come. So as soon as I did that, I got my email, hey, this person just requested a callback. Oops. This person just requested a callback. I also got the alert via my Facebook Messenger, because I have my Facebook Messenger alert set up. So a visitor from Canada just requested a callback. So I see that. I'll click open call, and you'll see my details, because I've put my number in there before, because the app remembered me from before. You can see all that stuff is over there. Okay. Now again, if I didn't want this second page at all, I just want to click the phone number, that's it, nice and clean. Like I showed you, all you have to do is disable these. But I'm just going to enable these back again. Or I just won't click save. There's also a way to enable call scheduling. This is a beta feature. We're still working out. Working it out. Maybe by then, maybe by the time you're seeing this video, it's good to go. There's just a few little usability issues. It still works completely fine. It's just we can make it a little bit more smooth. And so what this does is when you enable this, it asks the customer whether they want to call back now or whether they want to call back later. And if they click that later button, it gives them basically like a calendar to pick their time and date, which is when you'll get the alert. Well, you'll get the alert immediately, letting you know that it's for a later date, with an option for you to add it to your calendar so that you don't forget. That's how that works. It's really nifty. It was a really highly requested feature, so we built it just because of the feedback. Which is a good reminder. If you have any feedback, if there are any features that you really want us to make, please let us know, because that's how we learn what you want. And so when you request it, we add it to our list of upcoming features, and eventually we will get to it. So yeah, please do let us know about that. And last but not least, the confirmation page. So if you want to add any options here for your customer to a text here for just to confirm your customer, hey, we've gotten your request, we'll reach out as soon as someone's available. Additionally, you can also enable SMS. And so when you enable SMS, you can type your SMS response here, and basically when somebody submits their info, they'll get an SMS, a no reply SMS, just letting them know, confirming, hey, we got your callback request. Someone will reach out soon. So again, people, they know to expect a response. It's, without giving them a confirmation text or without giving them a confirmation message, sometimes customers don't realize whether you've gotten it or not, or they sometimes feel a little bit, they kind of overdo it, and they might send you an email as well. They might send you some other message, a chat. They might kind of do all these other things if they didn't get a confirmation that you have gotten it, and you will be getting back to them soon. So again, that's that was also a requested feature. Last but not least, the channels. Now this is really important, because this is how you will get alerts sent directly to you. So we have two channels right now. You can get alerts sent directly to email, like I showed you, and you can add unlimited team member emails here. Once you add them, they'll get an invite asking them to just confirm. And then there's also a way to enable messenger alerts. So again, if you want alerts to be sent to your messenger, you can do that. Now finally, we have also this option for you to request another custom integration. So if you want your alerts sent directly to Slack, request that, let us know. We have to do a little bit of stuff manually to turn that on for you, so we'll take care of that. Same thing with Zendesk, same thing with Gorgeous. If those are platforms that you use and you prefer to get alerts sent there, just click that button and I'll reach out and we'll set it up for you. So that's basically it. That's how you use Callback. If you have any questions that I did not answer here, again, feel free to contact us. Our phone number and email address should be all over the place here. So please do that. At the end of the day, right, it's all about those one-on-one conversations, creating one-on-one customer conversations so they can leverage your phone to make sales for you. And thank you very much. Take care.